you're having a lot of assumptions here with Adam and Eve. We don't know these people actually existed. So how do we actually show that Adam and Eve were actually real? You have to actually show that first before we saying that they were just perfect.
The
And not
first
only that,
thing,
that's not the way. That's not even the way DNA works. DNA doesn't is not. There's no perfect DNA. That doesn't happen. So how do we even show that they even existed? And how do we know that they were perfect? And yeah, that's actually the question. How do we know that they were perfect, and how do we know they were even real? Because all evidence shows that they were not real.
Volsy thoughts, race, life's a twisted place. No time to erase. I just keep the pace.
yeah, I can see the prompts again now. I, like you said, come if you disagree. I strongly disagree. I do believe God is real. I know it's sometimes hard to believe something that we can't physically see, but I my question would be, if God isn't real, how did we get here?
When you say how do we get here, you mean like how do I
Man,
exist?
yeah,
Our our
mankind.
our parents had sex.
I mean, the origin of it, the origin of it.
The origin of life has multiple explanations, and there's a lot of people who are working on it right now. That's still really a mystery. If you're gonna talk about the origin of life, there's things like abiogenesis, panspermia. There's actually good experiment for abiogenesis as well, where they actually put like a inorganic material into a lab simulation, and within a few hours you actually do get organic material from that. Now, is it RNA, is it DNA, et cetera, et cetera? No, of course not. It's not anything that's complex, but we do know it's possible for that to happen. But as far as why is there existence instead of absolutely no existence, I don't know that. No, I don't think anyone does.
But see, that's the thing. You're, I don't know what anything about what you just talked about. I'm not familiar with much when it comes down to atheism, because I do believe in the Bible. I don't necessarily believe in religion, but I do believe in the Bible. And I do believe God exists. I am not aware of anything that you just said, but what I did take away from it is that there is still there is something, like there's work being done to try to prove how we got here. And what I'm saying to you is the 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 answer for how we got here is already here. It's in the Bible.
How do we prove that the Bible is true?
um, I have no reason to believe that it isn't, right? So what I mean by that is, when I read the Bible and I look around, I um I feel like it gives me the answers. There are some things in the Bible that are obviously parables, right? And then there are some things that are there that's meant to explain how we got here. And I know you said that you didn't want anyone to preach or monologue, but I do have my own personal experience with God.
Okay, great. Um, now you said you more on you don't really believe in religion, but the first thing I would say is that once do you say like Lord and Jesus Christ as a Lord and personal Savior?
Yes,
Yeah, that's religion. So what one thing I would
that's not religion, that's Christianity.
which is a religion.
Not necessarily,
Well,
but okay.
how do you define religion?
Religion is what religion is today is a group of people getting together and forming an organization. The reason why I don't believe in organized religion is because it has become commercial.
Okay,
It was not meant to be commercial, but man has made it commercial, meaning they use it to control people as well as to enrich themselves.
okay. So religion is more than just an organization. Religion is literally defined as a relationship with a deity. That's literally definite. I'm breaking it down, but that's literally the definition of what a religion is, and you have that. I don't think like religion is a bad word. Yeah, like the way that it is today, there's lots of criticisms of it, but I don't think it's should be like such a bad word that people need to get away from. But the second thing I would say is that when you look at the Bible, there's plenty of reasons to not believe it. Not only because of the ridiculous stuff like talking snakes and talking donkeys, but its origins literally say that we came from two human people that ancestrally created the rest of us. That's we know scientifically that's not possible. That's not true.
You
So
said,
like
you
once
said
we
two human people that incestually created the rest of us?
yes, because in Genesis you have Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve had two sons, Cain and Abel. Then Cain unalived Abel. There was only Cain left, and then Cain somehow got a wife. So where did the wife come from? If there was only three people on earth,
I think the it can be a little bit confusing to someone if they don't believe in the Bible, right? To say that Cain and Abel, well, Adam and Eve's only two children. They weren't Adam and Eve's only two children. When God created Adam and Eve, he told them to be fruitful and multiply the earth. So it's impossible that they would have just two children.
right? So
Just because
Cain
the
had
Bible only speaks about two children, just because the Bible only speaks about them having two children, we have to look at the origin of it and understand that it was not just two children.
it
If
was
the
more.
Bible was to speak about every single child they have, then the Bible would be filled with just talking about all of their children.
Right. Okay. So if Adam and Eve had more children than just Cain and Abel, I'm agreeing with you there. They had to have more than them because Cain's wife had to come from somewhere, which means Cain had slept with his wife.
With his
That's
sister,
it.
you
That's
meant.
incest.
With his sister, you meant.
I'm sorry.
You meant to say his sister. That
It
he
doesn't.
that he went off with his sister.
It doesn't explicitly say his sister, but it also doesn't explicitly say that that God created more people.
Right.
Adam and Eve were the only ones on earth according to what the Bible says. If we're taking a strict interpretation of it, but like if just like what you're saying, Adam and Eve had to have more children, right? If they had to have more children, and then you had Cain unalive Abel, so it's Adam and Eve and Cain left. Then the other children that Adam and Eve had, if they were girls, they had to be Cain's sister. There's no way around it.
No, I'm not disputing that. I'm not disputing that.
Right.
At
So
that point, they were at that point. The only people on earth would have been Adam and Eve's children.
right. So the what I'm trying to show to you is that once you have incestuous children, once you have kids from incest, like you're not gonna have kids anymore after that. Like it's either going to be you're either going to have like kids who are severely genetically deformed or not fertile at all, meaning they can't have kids themselves. So we can't just have to come from two people.
That's not necessarily true. Incest is not accepted today, but there are cases where it happens, and they're able to have children, and the children are perfectly healthy.
No, they're not. That never happens. Incest children are never healthy. That never happens, especially if it's brother sister. If it's
What do you
if it's
base on
cousin
that?
if it's cousin, then there's there. If it's cousin, then it's there. But like brother sister, those children are never healthy. At
What do you
least
base
amongst humans. If it's like the other animals, they have different gene patterns than we do. But when it comes to humans, they're never healthy.
What are you basing that on?
Science, history, what we have in medicine,
Evidence of
evidence.
evidence of who, where,
we
when,
we actually we actually have like people alive today
right?
who parents were related, like brother sister blood related, and they're not healthy at all. Look up
Some
the
are
people of
healthy because
which ones.
I think it's in the Pakistani community in London where it's common. It's a thing where they marry their first cousins because they believe that by doing so the spouse would treat them better. And yes, you are correct. There's a good portion of the kids that have gene deficient gene issues, but some of them are healthy. There's a story I saw. I didn't know about this in the Pakistani community in the UK. I saw a story of it on, I think it was the BBC, a documentary. And there was a couple, they had, I believe, 6 children. And out of the 6 children, 3 were healthy and 3 had severe disabilities. So I'm not going to deny that that is problematic, but I'm saying it is not always the case. It is not 100% certainty that the child will, that if they produce a child, that the child will not be healthy. And I need you to remember one thing. When I come from the Bible, right? We are 600 years since Adam and 6,000 years since Adam and Eve, and so we're further away from perfection. Adam and Eve, when they were created, they were perfect. When they had their kids, they were not that far removed from perfection. So it is
Okay.
my belief.
Here's a few things. Here's a few things. Now, number one, I said brother sister related. Cousin is some sort of 50-50, and what you just proved, where they had 6 kids, but 3 of them had genetic defects, and the other 3 were perfectly healthy. So cousin is okay. The other cousin is sometimes is okay, but brother sister is never okay. There's never a case where a brother and a sister had a child and that child was perfectly healthy. That never happens. But the second thing I would say is that you're having a lot of assumptions here with Adam and Eve. We don't know these people actually existed. So how do we actually show that Adam and Eve were actually real? You have to actually show that first before we saying that they were just perfect. And not
first
only that,
thing-
that's not the way. That's not even the way DNA works. DNA is not. There's no perfect DNA. That doesn't happen. So how do we even show that they even existed? And how do we know that they were perfect? And that's actually the question. How do we know that they were perfect, and how do we know they were even real? Because all evidence shows that they were not real.
The first thing, right, where you and I will never agree is my starting point. My starting point is something that you dismiss. My starting point is the Bible. It's my belief in the Bible. And unless you believe in the Bible, you will never acknowledge Adam and Eve were perfect because you don't believe the Bible.
But don't you see the problem there? Can't you say the same thing for every other religion?
I don't discount Islam's holy book. I don't discount Judaism's holy book.
Yeah, because they're the same. They're the same as yours.
Right.
They have
So
they
when
say
you
the same
say
thing.
other, so when you
But
say other religion, those are the three main. Those are the 3 main faiths.
those are the big 3 Abrahamic faiths. But there are other religions outside of Abrahamic. There's Jainism, there's Shintoism, there's Taoism, there's Hinduism. They all have different creation stories. How come theirs are fake and this one's right?
I guess it just comes down to what you believe, right?
Right. I understand it comes down to what you
down
believe,
to-
but you see what I said here? Faith isn't a reliable pathway to the truth, because you can believe something completely 100% on faith and be wrong about it, right?
Faith is, for those of us that have faith, it is something that someone who refuses to even consider it will never be able to fully understand or accept, because their starting point is one of, because I can't see it, I can't believe it. And when I think about faith and believing and having faith, I can't see the air that I breathe, but I breathe. So I can have faith in something that I can't see based off of, first, my understanding of the Bible, and secondly, my own personal experiences.
Okay, I mean, here's what I would say. That's all good and well. That's fine, but like, what makes it actually true, right? Because it's you can like I said before, you can have faith in something and be wrong about it. So how do we know that you're right, and not another one that's right?
Can I ask you why it is that you don't believe God is real?
No evidence, and I have no utility for it.
No evidence. Okay. What do you mean by no utility?
There's no reason for me to have it.
Okay. That's where That's where talking to someone that believes in it, that believes God is real, and someone that doesn't believe he's real, that's where the intersection, like you kind of reach a fork in the road and you'll never be able to agree because one person believes it no matter what, and the other person's, you in this case, you believe in what you can see. If you can't see it, you don't believe it.
I mean, not necessarily. I can't see Jupiter, but I know it is. I know it exists because there's evidence of it.
You can't see the air.
Yeah, and
Period.
right, but we know it exists because we can actually detect oxygen molecules.
Where do you think it came from?
Where does the air come from? Air comes from chemical reactions.
Yeah, it's difficult to speak to someone.
I mean, if
Air
it comes from
doesn't come
somewhere
from
else, sure.
chemical reaction.
Yes, we actually can look into a lab and have chemical reactions and we can see oxygen. If you think it comes from something else, like let me know where it is and how did you prove that?
Why isn't it able to be replicated in Jupiter, for example?
There is oxygen on Jupiter
Why can't mine live there?
because it's too big and it has Jupiter has way more radiation. It has it's way too big for us to survive on it. The winds on Jupiter go like 600 miles per hour and we can't survive in that. We evolved on this planet. Yeah, I wouldn't expect
So
us
the
for us.
atmosphere, so the atmosphere on Jupiter is not conducive for man to
For
live.
man to live. Exactly.
Exactly right. So what do you think? Why do you think the atmosphere on Earth is conducive for man to live? Man didn't make that.
Yeah,
We didn't do that.
yeah, man. Yeah, we didn't do that. Of course we didn't. So
So we did. If we didn't do it, who did it?
there is no who.
So it just poof magically appeared.
No, that's what you believe.
No,
Yes, it
that's
is.
what you believe.
Doesn't the
I
Bible
believe it
says
was
doesn't
created.
doesn't Genesis 1:1 say in the beginning God created heaven and earth?
Right. So I believe
Okay,
it
so
was
you
created.
believe it was poofed. I don't
No,
believe it was
no,
poofed.
no, 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 no. You just said it. In the beginning,
God created the heaven and earth.
created heaven
Out of what?
and earth.
Out of what?
God created
All right,
it.
hold on. Listen to my question. Out of what?
He's Almighty. He created it
Out of what?
from His own ability as God to create it.
So he poofed
He
it.
created something.
So he created out of nowhere then.
He
Just poofed
created.
it. So he just
No,
poofed it
didn't
into
create-
existence.
He did not create it out of nowhere.
Okay, so
His-
he had
his-
prior material that he made it out of?
What he has, the abilities he has the ability to create, and you need to focus on that word. It did not say
Right. Okay. I
out of
I understand. What I'm trying to ask you is, you said I asked you, what did God create the earth out of? You said he just has the ability to create. So there was no prior material for God creating anything. He just did it on his own, which means he created something out of nothing. I don't believe that. So it's something that you believe. You believe that he poofed it into existence. I don't believe that he poofed it into existence. I believe what the evidence shows is that billions of years after the Big Bang, after stars exploded, there was an accretion disk of gas and dust that all amalgamated in together in order to make the Earth. That's where the evidence shows, and we can actually see accretion disks in other parts of the galaxy. So we can actually prove that that's what happened.
And
When it
then-
comes to your God's poofing things into existence, we can't prove that at all. It's just something that you're saying happened.
No, I never said God. You quoted the Bible. You quoted the Bible correctly, and then you are deliberately, after quoting it correctly, you're deliberately using the word poof. And that's not what the Bible said. The Bible says God created. Now
Out of what?
God is all knowing. He has the powers that you and I will never have. In fact, his powers surpasses that of his son. So we will never have the powers that he have. He has the ability to create everything and anything. He is the Alpha and the Omega.
Great.
the
Okay.
beginning
I
and
don't want.
the
I
end.
don't need a sermon. What I'm
I'm not
asking
giving
is
you a sermon.
right. I know, but that's what we're getting into. What I'm asking is, what
It's-
exactly did he make it out of?
Let me say this to you. It
Right?
is.
Hold on. I just need you to answer that question. When it comes to the
I'm going to
earth,
answer your question,
what did
right?
he make it out of?
It is not fair to have a conversation and say, I can't speak about I can't speak to you on the terms of my starting point, the Bible. So that when someone says, when I quote the Bible, I'm not giving you a sermon. My belief, your starting point is not the Bible. My starting point is the Bible. The only way I can speak to someone that is an atheist and talk about why I believe in God, I have to reference my starting point, which is the Bible. So the parameters in which you have which you have set for this conversation is not realistic. It cannot happen because you are handicapping the other person and saying you can't reference your starting point. You
I
can't
didn't
use
say
your
I didn't
starting
say that
point.
you can't. I didn't say that you can't reference the Bible. I said that I don't need a sermon saying all these things about God being the Alpha, the Omega, and da 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 da
It's
da.
not
Da.
a sermon.
Hold on. What I'm saying is that I've heard all that before, and this doesn't really answer the question. I understand that you believe that God is the Alpha and Omega. We've heard all this already. I've been in church for 20 something years, so I know all that already. What I'm asking about is questions that you will never hear in church, which is specifically the question I asked you before. If God made everything, what exactly did he make it out of? If he didn't make it out of any prior material, then that means he made it out of nothing. He just willed it into existence, which is magic. He just poofed it into existence. You're saying that he
You
didn't.
said that he
Hold on,
didn't make it out
hold
of
on,
any
wait. Listen,
prior
let me finish.
material.
Let me finish. You said that he didn't make. You said that he just created it, and I'm asking you, did he create it out of something that was already prior existing? Did he make it out of something? Because something can't come from nothing. So if he just willed it into existence, you're literally saying that he made things out of nothing.
Never said he willed it into existence.
Okay, so what did he create the earth out of?
Whatever means he had to create it, because the Bible did not say he said he decreed it. The Bible said the Bible doesn't say poof. The Bible doesn't say the earth magically appeared. The Bible specifically used the word created.
Create,
And
okay.
what that says to me, as you are aware of, in order for you to create something, you have to have the materials to create it. And that means to me that God has the materials that he used. I don't know what they are because I am not God. You don't know what they are because you're not God. He is God. He created it with the materials that he had to create the earth. And you cannot continue to quote Genesis and say, it says in the beginning God created the earth, and then turn around and say, believing that he created the earth means that someone is saying, poof, the earth, he magically appeared the earth. You're being disingenuous when you do that.
I'm not being disingenuous because it literally doesn't say that he made it out of anything. He just said he willed it into existence. He just
No,
said
it
God
doesn't.
created.
You quote,
He just said no.
this is what I'm saying
He said
again.
that he said God created the heavens and the earth.
This
It
is what
doesn't
I'm
say
saying
how. He
again.
just said that he did something. All
This
right.
is what I'm saying
So what
again.
you're saying? Hold on. Wait. You're saying that in the beginning in Genesis it says God created the heaven and the earth. I understand that you're saying it doesn't say what he made it out of, but I'm not being disingenuous if I said that it literally it's willing it into existence because it doesn't say how he made anything. It just says
doesn't
that he
even
made something.
say the reason why I'm saying you're being disingenuous is because of your knowledge of the Bible, you are correctly quoting Genesis that says he created it, and yet you refuse to acknowledge that it's possible for him to create it with material, with means that he had. Just because you don't know what those means are, you quote Genesis, and then you turn around and say that it means that it magically appeared. No, that's like me saying you have something that I am not aware of, and you use what you have to create something, and because I don't have that, I'm not aware of what you have, I'm going to discount that you created it because I don't have the means, and I don't know what the means are that you have for you to create something.
I didn't say that he didn't create anything. What I'm doing is I'm critiquing what this actually says, and I'm critiquing the theology, because you're actually the first person that actually, who I ever ran into, that says that God didn't will things into existence. He just had prior material for it. If you're saying that he had prior material for it, where did the prior material come from then?
I don't know that.
Right.
If
Okay, so this is the problem that I'm
you
running
didn't let me
into.
finish. You didn't even let me finish.
Go ahead.
I was responding to where you said that I'm the first person that you've ever spoken to that didn't say that God willed the earth into existence.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. If I believe in the Bible, I cannot say that He willed the earth into existence, because the Bible doesn't say that. The Bible says that He created the heavens and the earth.
Right, so he willed it into existence. What's the difference?
That is so.
All right,
like,
hold on, wait, hold on,
ask
Brandon. Let me ask you,
something.
hold on,
When
wait,
you
hold on.
create
Let me ask you, let me
No,
ask you a
no, no,
question. Let me ask you a question.
let
Wait,
me
hold
ask
on,
you this.
wait.
When you
Let me ask
create
you, let me ask you a
something-
quick question. Let me ask you a quick question. Because you said that the Bible doesn't say that he willed it into existence, right? It says that he created it, right?
I'm listening.
All right, so you understand that. So you're saying that it was possibly created from prior material, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, where did that material come from?
God,
So he willed things into existence.
because someone, you didn't let me finish. Because someone has something. When you create something, do you will it into existence?
No, I make it from prior material that existed
Okay.
before me.
Okay. So why is it? Why are you insisting that God is not possible? That God did not have prior material that He used to create the heavens and the earth.
That would mean that God's not all powerful then.
That would mean that He's not all powerful.
He's not. There's material outside of him that he cannot make.
You are completely twisting the Bible.
No, I'm not. That's what you just said.
No,
You
no,
said
no,
that
no.
you
You
asked
are
me, you asked me, you asked me, you asked
You are
me how
completely
you
twisting
asked
the
me,
Bible.
you asked me, how do I know that God didn't have prior material that he made stuff out of? I could agree with you that. I don't know if God had previous material that he made stuff out of. But if that's the case, that means that God cannot be all powerful, because there are things that exist before him.
He's the beginning and He's the end.
Okay, so all the material comes from him.
Where would it come from?
Okay, then this is my point that I was trying to get to before. He willed things into existence. Because where did the material come from that he made it from? It came from him, right? Hold on, wait. Bernie, follow me real quick. You just said that he's the beginning and the end. And when I asked you, so where did the material comes from? You said, where else could it come from other than him? That means he wills things into existence, which is what I said 10 minutes ago. You're not admitting that I was right. God simply willed things into existence.
No. What I'm saying to you.
So where did the material come from?
What I'm saying to you is you are purposefully quoting the Bible, and then because it doesn't fit with your narrative, you're purposefully using words that fits your narrative. And you're refusing to acknowledge that God created the
From
heavens
what?
and the
Where did the
earth.
material come
Okay?
from?
It is not for me
Bernie,
to
where did the material
understand.
come from? Where
Let
did the
me
material come
finish.
from?
It is not for me to understand. It is not for me to explain where God got the materials from. If I believe in the Bible, then what I believe in is what the Bible says. And as long as you don't believe in the Bible, you won't ever be able to have a genuine, as long as you are not willing to even entertain the notion that the Bible is real, that it is from God, that it does explain how we got here, you won't be able to have a genuine conversation.
But
with
here's the problem,
anyone,
Bernie.
because
Here's the problem, Bernie.
hold on.
Hold on, wait, hold on.
Because you have already made up your
Bonnie,
mind.
please don't monologue.
It's a
Hold on,
conversation that's gonna go in a circle.
wait. I know it's a conversation.
It's gonna go in a
But
circle, though.
Bernie, listen to what I'm saying. I'm not gonna let you do that. Don't say that I'm not trying to have a genuine conversation because I'm critiquing the Bible. I don't need to believe something to have a conversation about it. We can have a conversation about Dragon Ball Z. I don't believe Frieza exists. Like, come on, like, yeah, y'all need to stop doing that.
just
Hold on,
check
Bernie, hold on, Bernie,
everything.
hold on, Bernie, hold on, Bernie. Y'all need to stop doing that. This is something Christians always do. If we don't accept what you're saying, you think that we're not being genuine. I am being genuine because me becoming atheist took 10 to 15 years. It wasn't a short time. All right, I didn't just not believe this out of nowhere. My dad is still a pastor, so I didn't just stop believing this out of nowhere. Like, I do have genuine conversations. If I'm asking you hard questions and you're saying that you can't answer it, that's fine. But don't pretend I'm not being genuine.
No. I never said I couldn't answer it.
Where did
Your-
materials come
the
from that
issue-
God created
the
Earth out
issue-
of?
The issue is my answer. I rely on the Bible for, and you
Cool.
don't believe.
Does the Bible
is
say the
real.
material where the
You
materials
don't
came from?
believe the Bible is real.
Does
You don't believe-
the Bible
you
does
don't
the
believe
Bible
in-
say
you don't believe
Bernie,
in
does the Bible say
Almighty.
Bernie, last question. Does the Bible say where the materials came from
You
that God
don't
created Earth?
believe- you don't
Hold on,
believe-
Bernie,
you don't
answer me this
believe in a
question. Answer.
divine being.
Of course I don't
wanna
believe in a
get
divine
argument
being,
with
and I
you.
don't know why you would.
I don't
Answer,
want to get into
but
an argument. I
but
don't,
but
this
my
conversation's
question
gonna
is
go around
my
in a
question is
circle.
Bernie, my
I was
question
hoping
is
we could have a genuine
Bernie.
conversation.
We are having a genuine
Then it goes-
conversation.
No, it's going in a circle. It's going
Yeah.
in a circle with here's what's
Okay,
happening. You have
okay,
two
but
people-
Bernie,
you have two
Bernie,
people.
it's
One
literally
who-
just a simple question. Hold on, Bernie, hold on.
You have two people who firmly have their firm beliefs, right? Who will
No,
not budge. on
no,
their
I can
beliefs.
budge. I can budge. I
No,
can
you're
budge.
not
I can
willing to
budge.
budge.
No, Bernie, you're
You're
wrong.
not- you-
Bernie,
for
you're
one
wrong.
thing-
Bernie, you're
for
wrong.
one
Bernie, you're wrong.
thing-
Stop,
for
Bernie.
one-
Bernie, stop. Stop. You're wrong. I can budge if you give me evidence, which I've always said. I can budge, but you have to give me evidence because I budged on believing in God before, right? So I can budge if you give me evidence. All I asked you
Before
was,
I drop-
hold on. All I
before I
asked you,
drop,
hold on,
I'm
wait,
gonna
let me finish. All I asked you was where the prior material that God made the earth out of, where did it come from? You told me 10 minutes ago that you
Before
don't
I
know,
drop-
and then you
before
told
I
me that
drop,
it came
can I
from
say
God.
something? 'Cause I'm about
That
to
means he
drop.
poofed it into existence, right?
Can I say something before I drop?
All right, go
Before
ahead.
I drop, I'm going to pray that someone has foundation in the church, and like I said, the church is problematic for me. But I'm gonna pray for someone who once believed that there is a almighty being and who sent his son to die for your salvation. I'm going to pray that God touches your heart, that you understand that you did not magically appear. You did not magically appear. That your very existence is because of an almighty being. Have a good day.
That would be magic. I'm here because of evolution, which is not magic. All right, guys.